I hear them, they say the same thing over and over again. There's some dynamic where they work together that you don't see very often. I mean, they are like, they don't look exactly alike. One of them hardly talks, the other one just talks and talks. No, I can say that because it bothers me when I say that. But you know, other than that, they're really similar. They're both elite coaches. As a matter of fact, they've both been elite coaches 4 times. They're both superstar coaches, 15-star diamond coaches. So many things are the same. You would think they were related. Well, as a matter of fact, they are related. Please welcome the sisters, Becky, Brossett, and Kristina.
Well, this lemonade stand, that one, the one you see in the picture, that is us. That was ours, our first business. And that's me in the dark color shirt. As you can see, my hair hasn't changed much in 31 years. Same style. And that's Kristy up in the front. And that business, that lemonade stand, marked the beginning of our business relationship, but also the start of our BeachBody business. You see that lemonade stand, this lemonade stand, it is BeachBody. It's simple, and we serve others, and it's so much fun. But even funner when you do it with a team.
That's right.
And you get to involve your family and your friends and even perfect strangers in it. The only difference between this lemonade stand and our BeachBody businesses is that we're adults now, and we forget how to dream. And we need to get back to that place where we dream, because I bet if I were to take a poll of everybody in this room, more than 50% of us wanted to be something like an astronaut when we were little kids. But society tells us to stop instead of become unstoppable when times get rough. And today we're going to help you change that mindset. Are you ready? So we want to first share a little bit about our family. Our parents, Rafael and Elsa Bergoya, were actually here today. They're right next to Lindsay. They actually immigrated from Cuba back in the early 60s to avoid communism, and their families, our grandparents, were looking to provide them a better opportunity. And yes, they left everything behind, their homes, their extended family, for a fresh start. So yes, there were challenges. They didn't speak the language, neither did our grandparents, which they don't. Our grandfathers just passed, but our grandmothers don't speak English yet. But that didn't stop them. The unstoppable mindset started then. They graduated high school. My mom went on to college, had an amazing career in legal industry. Our father turned around our grandfather's failing construction company and made it one of the most respected subcontractors in South Florida today. We're super proud of everything that they've done and the foundation that they've laid for us. But what they implanted in us is a belief in success, that if you want something, you have to work for it. It's not going to be handed to us. And at the core of everything is creativity and empowerment. We're strong, independent women, and they taught us to be this way. Amen. So, they've been through it all our crazy ideas. I mean, the lemon runs and picking avocados off the floor so we could sell them in the corner. And then our very first official company, Living Up Activewear, they just sat there with us in the blazing South Beach heat. Amy was there too. We were selling gym clothes, and we just had the best time, but they never told us no. They told us go for it. If this is what you're passionate about, go do it. And even with that entrepreneurial spirit that we had, Mama said you gotta go to college, and so we did that, and we did it well. You know, Becky went to Florida International University. She graduated with a degree in construction management and went on to get an amazing job at a very successful construction company in Miami, Florida as a senior project estimator. Here's me with my ever-changing short hairstyles on Becky's graduation day. I graduated from the University of Miami. Go Hurricanes. Come on. You. I know my team is like full of Seminoles. I'm like, oh. I know you guys are out there. And I went on to law school, graduating at the top of my class and getting an amazing, I say amazing a lot, but I got a great job at an awesome law firm in Miami, Florida. I was a medical malpractice litigator. And from the outside looking in, everyone thought that everything was perfect, right? And I bet a lot of us have this similar story. But at the same time, when we were having these beautiful families, Becky and Larry and the boys, and Danny and I and the kids, it seemed good from the outside, but inside, we were both struggling, and struggling privately. We wouldn't even talk about our problems, our financial problems, because we were embarrassed to tell our parents. Because it was hard, and when the financial markets crashed in 2008, both of our families were hit extremely hard. But thank God something happened to Becky. So that's my official P90X transformation, and thanks to our best friend Elaine, she let me borrow P90X, and that was it from there. I mean, 11 months later, I was rocking the bikini, I felt great, my confidence was skyrocketing, but like my sister said, things were just not good. Although we had great careers, we were making good money, we were drowning. We were losing our homes, the financial market had crushed construction, we were overworked, underpaid, underappreciated, no bonuses, no more raises, it was gone. And the money was just not enough. Our parents were helping us financially. It was super embarrassing for us to be professional women, and then our parents, here they are coming to the rescue once again. It was just really tough. And in the summer of 2010, I said enough's enough. I'm going to take control back, and I'm gonna look for something. And my entrepreneurial spirit kicked back in. Let me find something that's gonna help my family. I almost signed up for another network marketing company, but the products, I just didn't feel it. BeachBody runs through my veins, and finally one day, I wasn't, paying attention to the DVDs, I kept talking about coaching. The BeachBody opportunity presented itself, like the universe blessed me with this opportunity in a pretty little package, and it took me 4 days to spend $40 to sign up as a coach, but I finally did it, and I took ownership of my life. I said, enough's enough. I will not let the cards fall where they may. I'm going to make this work. I needed $50 a week to help pay for diapers, and I went all in. And 30 days later, Becky presented me with the BeachBody opportunity. Well, let's face it, she just wanted to go emeralds. And I was that girl that didn't eat vegetables, not a single vegetable, and now I'm drinking them for breakfast. But I'm coachable, and even though I was the biggest skeptic in the world and wanted nothing to do with this opportunity because I was trying to make it in the legal world, Becky said, come with me to Super Saturday, and my life has absolutely never been the same. And you might see us and say, that's what BeachBody success looks like. We're looking at some of the faces down here and saying, that's it, right? Not me, it's for them. And you might say, we're the only sisters in BeachBody that have achieved Superstar Diamond and Million Club and 4-time elite, and all that stuff still blows my mind, and I never take that for granted. But our success, that's our success, and you need to define success on your own terms. Because there's so many different ways that we can be successful, and you need to figure that out for yourself. Because it doesn't have to all look the same, and we need to stop comparing ourselves to each other, because we all have a different story and a different race to run. And there's so many reasons why. Even looking at us today, 6 years later, why this shouldn't have worked. And I bet, and we'll talk about some of the things that could have caused us to fail, I'm pretty darn sure that each and every single one of you have experienced each and every single thing that we did. So how many of you have thought to yourself, well, I don't know enough people? Well, we have the same DNA. We live 4 blocks away. Her oldest and my youngest are in the same class. They have been since they were 3 years old. We live 4 blocks away. We have the same family. And I signed up all her friends before she even Let's face it, by the time I became a BeachBody coach, I was like, hello, her lost friends are my coaches. That's right. And the the first 2 coaches I ever sponsored in the business, they quit. Have you guys had that happen to you? And the first bag of Shakeology, I hope Darren's not listening, that I ever sold was returned 4 weeks after I started my BeachBody business. BeachBody took money from me, right? It was not what you would think would end up where it is today. There were so many reasons why we could have failed. And in fact, El Jefe, Mr. Paul Deichler, said South Florida would never grow. BeachBody, no man's land. It was cursed. Miami's too much about the quick fix, and it just was not gonna work. We heard those words and we said, challenge accepted. And we've grown South Florida and our team, Diesel Nation, not only in South Florida, but all over the United States, Puerto Rico, and Canada, and it's been amazing. But you guys, despite what you just heard and all the reasons that we could have failed, which match every single one that you face day in and day out, and what Carl said and all that stuff, the biggest obstacle that Becky and I have faced in this business in the last 6 years, and my parents are here, they can testify to this, has been each other. We have been each other's biggest obstacle, because we grew up in a highly competitive environment. I know, it's not funny. We grew up in this highly competitive environment, and then you put this business on top of all of that, and it really has highlighted our issues, those underlying issues that we didn't want to talk about, and we were scared to talk about them. It magnified them times 1,000. Compare despair, and we all do it, because I'm sure you can think of one person right now in a split second that you have looked at and said, well, she's just better than me. Well, imagine I've done that for the last few years. She's a better speaker, she's just better at this than me, and the constant beating up in my own head. But you know what? We have the same life coach, and we've committed that we're getting over this, because we both shine bright together, we're better together, and compare is over. We just said, but guess what? We did it anyway. We built it anyway, and that's what you need to do today too. There is always going to be that person, that thing. Your Becky, your Kristina could be a spouse. It could be your coach. It could be someone on your team. It could be someone that told you you would never amount to anything in this world. Do it anyway. Can I get an amen on that? Do it anyway. And how did we do that? These are the 3 things that Becky and I have really leaned on in the last 6 years to grow our BeachBody businesses. Number 1, lean in. And I love that image. Think about that storm rolling in over the horizon. That's your BeachBody business. And most people when they see a storm come in, they retreat. They go and they hide. Not us, not now, and not ever, because people need us more than ever. There are things in this business that you cannot avoid. There are people that are going to come and they're going to go. There's going to be highs and extreme lows, the ones that we talked about today. There's going to be periods of momentum and there's going to be periods of transition. The one thing that has to remain constant is your mindset. Now, Gary Vee's going to come on in a little bit and he's going to talk about social media and it's going to kick your butt, for real. But I encourage you that instead of paying for that Facebook ads training and then quitting 5 days later, that instead you pick up a book and read it. Like my friend Julie Moore says, I see her in the audience. Pick up a book and feed your mind and strengthen your mindset. Because when that storm rolls in, you don't want to turn around and quit 5 days later. You want to face it. You want to step into it. And you want to lean into the challenges. And when you do that, you will see that any big business cannot be built with a small mind. You have to grow your mindset each and every single day. Number 2, once you have a strong mindset, then you need a strong purpose. I mean, why are you here? Have you even asked yourself that question? Why did you come all the way to Nashville, Tennessee to be here today? Who are you doing this for? So those beautiful images up on the screen, that's our family. And since day one, they have been the reason why we have shown up every day and battled through everything, through our own struggles, through the ups and downs of this business. But they're looking at their faces, and their happiness right now is worth all the sacrifices that we made in those first hard 4 years of solid work. I can think back 4 or 5 years ago to the beginning, and the pain that I carried in my heart, it was a daily pain of not being there when they're sick, not being there for their school activities, having to drop them off at 7:15 in the morning. Then they're like going to charter school, and I'm leaving them with perfect strangers because I have to go to work. How many parents deal with that every single day? You know the pain that you have. Lead from your heart. Work from the inside. Don't get distracted by the shiny things, the rank and the stage and all that. Lead from your heart, because when you lead with purpose, you will not falter on the first obstacle that comes your way. Be clear with what you're doing this for. Once you have that, you have to paint the picture. Have a clear vision. The life that we lead today is exactly what we pictured 4 years ago. Everything we did was for what we have now. You have to be clear. And like Eric Thomas says, what do you want? Number 3, leave your mark. Now I'll let Becky talk about the significance of this image, which is super cool. In fact, Lindsay, you were there that day. But I have something in my heart that I've been wanting to share for the last 2 weeks. Especially in the United States, all the Americans in here have been experiencing this barrage of politics, right? We have the Republican National Convention, the Democratic National Convention, and I see us Americans day in and day out searching for some sort of miracle, right? That someone's gonna be elected and all of our problems are just gonna wash away, right? How about we become our own miracle? How about we work hard and create our own destiny? Because when I look at the faces down here, the friends of ours that started growing their businesses in 2008 and 2009, 2010, we grew our businesses in the height of the worst economic crisis in the United States since the Great Depression. And we built it anyway, because our businesses transcend economy. BeachBody transcends economy. So instead of running away or thinking that the next president or that thing or that lottery ticket or whatever is going to change your life, think about the action that you can take to be your own solution. You said yes. And whether it costs $40 to sign up or $140 to sign up, don't cheapen the opportunity because it wasn't that expensive to become a coach. Because 6 years later, if you can be standing on stage, being $1 million earner and having a dream life, then you better believe that it's gonna take hard work, but leave your mark. So that's a really powerful, that's my handwriting. It was January 29, 2011, my very first corporate event. I was a diamond coach, and I sat in that room and really listened. So I hope you listen to everybody that's speaking this weekend. I listened, absorbed, I took it in, all the success, I was inspired, but most of all, I felt like I deserved to be there, like this was my moment. I was committed. At that point, I knew, why not me? I can do this. And then Jeff Hill spoke at the end of the event, and I don't remember the exact contents of the speech, but he's super inspiring. It's how he made me feel, and he gave me permission to go all in. He gave me permission to believe in myself, to take reins, to take control of my life, and do this. Why can't I be like them? And as I walked out of that room that day, I'll never forget, I was with my cousin, and I told her, one day that's gonna be me up there. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but it's gonna be me. And I made the decision that day that I would not settle, I would not be mediocre. So I'm giving you the permission today to raise your standards. Raise your standards, elevate your life, improve the world, everything around you. Leave your mark on this business, in your community, with your family. You have the solution, you have it, but take control. Just do it and do it big. Today you have the decision, right? You can let the last 20 minutes of us speaking or the next 2 days of your visit here in Nashville be a fleeting moment in your life where you come in, you feel good, and you go home and you stay the same. Or you could decide to leave the world a better place than what you found it. You can lean in to the challenges that you will face, because I'll tell you that if we're here, standing here, doing these things, having faced the struggles that we have faced, you can do it too, but you've got to toughen up your mindset. Lean into the storms that are coming, because they will come fast and furious. Lead with purpose. Lead with your heart. When you find that anchor in your life, you will become unstoppable. And number 3, just leave your mark, right? We all have the ability to do something really outrageous with our lives. And when you said yes to this opportunity, this is what is going to be the vessel for that change.
So just do it.
And become unstoppable. Let's do it. Are you guys ready